Today, we're going to be taking a look at some of the UFC fighters that we need to see back in the octagon at all costs in 2025. Some of these fighters have been out for like 2+ years now. The first one I want to talk about, Dylan, Kamaru Usman.
That was the first one I was going to talk about.
Bro, he just needs to fight. He has a podcast. I'm done listening to Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman on the Pound for Pound show when none of them win fights anymore.
And here's the thing with Usman. Every day you're sitting out, the worse you're getting, buddy. You're not getting younger.
Yeah.
You're just getting older on the shelf.
Those knees have been grinding bone on bone for years now.
And it's not like there aren't people for him to fight the welterweight division stacked, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's add another character into the game.
Yeah, it's like two sides of the spectrum. You have Stephen Thompson, who just lets the up-and-comers farm off of his position, and then Kamaru Usman, who's still second ranked or like third ranked.
I think he's 2
in the welterweight division. Yeah, we have it up here. Number 3, which is just insane. Because his last fight was Chimaev at a catch weight.
And here's the thing with Usman is he sees what's going on with Brother Volk, Brother Izzy. He's like, I don't want to be part of that. I don't want that.
Which is fair, but like, don't hold up your ranking.
Retire
position.
them, bro.
Yeah. So do you think he's actually going to fight like soon? Is he going to get a matchup booked soon?
I think there's a chance the Buckley matchup gets booked.
Yeah.
You know, I think that realistically right now is the only matchup, you know, with everyone having their fights right now. So
yeah, if
he's fighting within the next 3 months, it's probably Buckley.
Yeah. But there's also just no like talk about him, you know?
Yeah.
With Shavkat, Sean Brady, even JDM, like there's all this like talk of stuff happening, but with Kamaru Usman, it's like there's never any talk except when he was maybe gonna fight Shavkat on short notice.
Yeah.
That was like the last time,
and then you just don't hear about him.
Yeah, you don't hear about him. Yeah. So I'm kind of confused at if he's gonna make another run for the belt, because realistically, his ranking indicates that he's 1 win away. Mm-hmm. From a title shot, which is wild.
Which, I mean, who knows? But, I mean, at the top of welterweight right now, you never know. It could be 2 or 3 wins right now because it's so clogged up.
You have JDM, who hasn't fought yet, and then you have the winner, Leon Edwards, Sean Brady, who Leon thinks is guaranteed the next title shot, which is not true.
Who knows?
And then you have Shavkat, who had that shot and then still won against an undefeated fighter, so he absolutely deserves it.
Yeah. I think that
Kamaru, you're 4th on the list, bro.
Sean and Leon, the UFC is not keen to make either of you guys champions, so slow your roll here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, next guy I want to talk about. Guy who hasn't fought since October, got brutally knocked out there. I'm talking about Max Holloway. And I think I have the perfect matchup for him. Now that Hooker had to pull out of this fight with Gaethje, let's, 2-3 months, let's let Hooker's hand heal up, and let's get that Holloway-Hooker matchup.
That's a banger.
Like, I think that's even almost better than Holloway or than Hooker Gaethje.
I would agree with that.
I think, like, just levels,
Well, I think Gaethje,
Gaethje's a different fight.
Yeah, I think Max Holloway in general puts on better fights than Gaethje
more technical.
Yeah. Is that crazy to say?
The fight that we were going to see at 313 was basically organized double homicide, you know?
Yeah. Whereas Holloway, you're going to get like a chess match, you know?
I think it would be very similar to the Holloway Gaethje fight. You just put Hooker in there instead of Gaethje.
Yeah, I think Hooker in general just has a bit more output, a bit more meaty hooks.
Yeah.
Gaethje spams leg kicks.
Hooker's okay with and then just eat. He's like,
That would be an interesting scenario. How we can compare the Dan Hooker point down versus the Gaethje point down.
Who can last longer?
Yeah,
post point down.
Yeah, I am actually. I do want to apologize to you real quick because apparently, from what I've heard, Gaethje was asking for the fight with Dan Hooker to be 3 rounds instead of 5 rounds before it got switched to Fiziev.
Really?
Apparently. So you were right.
Wow, look at me go.
Look at you go. Don't underestimate the casual guys.
It's okay. Some guy in the Instagram DMs was glazing you. He was like,
that's wild.
P.S. Lucas is way cooler.
Wasn't that a comment?
Something like that.
It was like, and Lucas has more aura?
Yeah, someone said Lucas has more aura. And I was like, care to explain? And he said, he's got better takes and I like his hats. And I was like,
my hats? My JJ Bakes hat?
Yeah.
The local company that I work for? That's crazy. I guess the McLaren hat, maybe? That's valid.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll go.
You could take one.
I'll go next. All right. I got some deep cuts here, guys. I got Shi Ming. I want to see Xi Ming fight again.
Okay.
The
Little
goat.
doctor
Yeah,
guy.
the little 5'2" doctor that fought in Macau got the head kick KO over the massive Asian chick. It was like the battle of the different Asian heights.
Straw weights.
And there's not a lot of matchups I could think of in women's strawweight. I'll be honest. But I did come up with one, and I want her to face Victoria Dudakova, who's actually a decent name. Also, like, they're close in rankings in Tapology. Xi Ming is like 40 something, Dudakova's like 30 something. So it could be an actual matchup that happens. But the reason I want this is because Dudakova was undefeated before coming into the UFC, and now she's on like a 2-fight losing streak. So I think that Xi Ming has a chance, maybe. Because I feel like that Contender Series fight was low-key a fluke. You know what I mean?
I mean, her opponent looked way better than her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the opponent had the reach advantage, the striking, kickboxing, and then Xi Ming just lands a crazy head kick. So, as much as I love Xi Ming, I don't know if there's any real potential for her to do anything in strawweight.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Give her Zhang Weili.
All right, my next guy. I'll match your Asian fighter with an Asian fighter myself.
Okay.
Kaya Sakura. I want to see this guy fight someone that's actually his level. Pantoja was a step ahead of him, you know? But if you give this guy someone in like the, 12 to 8 range inside of, say our boy Steve Ursig loses to Moreno, maybe a Ursig Asakura, one of those guys got to win,
So true.
And, MMA math would tell you that Asakura would lose that fight, but you never know because we saw exciting things. We saw that knee on Pantoja that Pantoja just absolutely ate.
And he's a good promoter.
Yeah, I just want to see this guy. I would like to see him at a pay-per-view too because I think that I want to see him in a presser. But you put this guy on like the opening fight of a pay-per-view, that's exciting. People would want to watch that. He has name value.
We're filming this on a Friday right before UFC 313. But did you see that there's a 314 press conference now today?
Really?
Yeah, at 3 p.m. our time.
Oh.
So the whole main card is going to be there.
Really?
So that should actually be interesting.
Bryce Mitchell.
Oh, that'll be hype.
There's going to be clip farming. People are going to be clip farming on Bryce Mitchell.
Protest is going to be
You
there.
racist. Shut up. Next guy I want to see fight. Brian Ortega.
It's been a while.
He hasn't fought since he lost to Diego Lopez. So you know what, buddy? Time to get back on that horse. Featherweight right now, it is pretty booked up. But, I mean, Ortega's a good win for anyone, Even getting that Ortega, I kind of think Ortega Movsar right now,
Could be interesting.
Movsar matches the same win as Lopez, and it's a fight that I think that Movsar, if you want to fight for the belt, should be easy for you,
Yeah.
And while you're just kind of waiting, get another win under your resume, fight a higher level competition, because I think that, Ortega and Aljo are probably pretty similar level. Rankings wouldn't say that, but in terms of skill, I'd say that they're pretty close. So you're Movsar, you go and fight. You're the UFC too. You want Movsar to go and fight this guy because, you don't want him to face someone and just get absolutely schooled.
Yeah, I think that's a decent fight. I have a different fight for Ortega later down the road with one of my people coming back.
Ooh.
I guess I'll talk about right now. Josh Allen, Josh, not the quarterback. Arnold Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking Arnold Allen against Brian Ortega. Maybe.
I had Arnold Allen on my list, but I swear he had a fight booked, and I didn't look.
No, he's injured injured. Whatever's wrong with him, he's always injured. But he is recovering from something right now. He was gonna fight, but now he's back in because he wanted to take the short notice against. Oh, he wanted the maybe Lerone Murphy fight or the Josh Emmett fight. He wanted one of those.
Okay.
But he couldn't take it because he was injured. So, yeah, I think it'll be a good fight between Brian Ortega and Arnold Allen if they fought. Because I think Arnold Allen deserves a shot up in the rankings now. He beat Giga Chikadze pretty easily. Mm-hmm. And he is like a top talent. I just feel like he's never been able to realize his full potential. And I do think there's a good shot that he could get a win over Brian Ortega at this point in their careers.
All right, next guy for me that I want to see announce a fight, Mr. Ian Gary. It hasn't been too long since his last fight, and I know that welterweight is relatively booked up right now. There aren't a lot of names, but let's get Gary versus Buckley. I know I gave Buckley for the Usman fight, but I don't trust that Usman's going to fight. Yeah. And Buckley, very active last year, so a 350. I mean, 350 might be a little too late to announce this, but 316 featured fight Buckley versus Gary.
That's
or
a
you know
good
what?
fight.
Run this back as a fight night main event the way that it was planned on being. Get both guys some 5-round experience.
Yeah.
There's not really a reason to not run this fight. We had Gary who lost to Shavkat. Buckley's coming off that win to Colby. Kind of puts these guys officially one fight away from a belt, or you never know, maybe depending on timeline, they could be the next guys for a belt. You know?
Yeah, I think that's a good matchup. I wasn't really excited for that Tampa main event. Like, that was going to be a banger, I think, because Buckley doesn't put on boring fights.
Yeah, and Buckley is very much blitzy, and Gary's the opposite.
Yeah, I would probably take Buckley in that fight.
I think I would take Gary.
Just because of the styles.
I just don't like Buckley, but...
But, like, think about realistically, I think the style would fit Buckley more.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be a tough fight for Gary.
Yeah. Kind of like that Stephen Thompson fight. Maybe Buckley gets pieced up at range and then just KOs him randomly.
Yeah, just kind of... If he can close the distance, he'd have that fight.
Yeah. My next fight, something that might be a little bit controversial. Tom Aspinall. Obviously, everyone wants to see him fight. But I say, if Jones isn't ready in the next couple months, Pereira. Do Tom Aspinall versus Pereira, because in heavyweight, Cyril Gane hasn't proven that he deserves a title shot. Volkov is technically on a loss, and Tom has already beat him easily. The other people up there, Curtis Blades, he just beat him. Almeida's a little bit far away from my liking for a title shot. I don't think he deserves it.
He has no name.
Yeah, and he has no name value, so it's just a boring fight. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to let a dominant double champion try for a history,
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, do you want Pereira to go up and become interim heavyweight champion? Like, I think that's a risky move.
Well, no, I don't think it would be. I'm saying, like, Tom Aspinall, they just say, you know what, Jones, you need to take this fight or we are stripping you of the belt. And then they make Tom Aspinall versus Pereira for the undisputed. I think that's the way that it should go.
It's interesting with, like, what they're going to actually do with Pereira.
Yeah.
Because realistically, he should get winner of Jones Aspinall.
If he wants, yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, imagine this is the streak he goes on. Beats Ankalaev, goes and fights Usyk in boxing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then goes and fights the winner of Jones Aspinall.
I know he would never beat Usyk, but imagine he would be the greatest athlete of all time if he did all of that. Just beats Jones, beats Usyk, beats Ankalaev, has 6 title defenses at that point, I think. Like, bro, that is great in like 5 years of fighting in MMA.
And then just rack up easy title defenses in heavyweight with those bombs up there.
Oh, that's...
And we can see him fight David Adesanya. We can get Pereira Adesanya 5.
David Adesanya. Yeah, I like that. I want Aspinall to fight so bad. Like, one of my favorite fighters, and it pisses me off that his prime is being wasted.
Yeah. Speaking of heavyweights, I have 2 fighters here. I want Gane and Volkov to both get booked in fights because I want to see how the UFC approaches this. Who gets the better matchup here?
Yeah.
I think realistically you probably see Gane Pavlovich and then maybe Volkov, and who knows if, like, Kuniev beats Blades, it throws another guy in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Or, push one of those guys from the bottom. Why not just chuck Kennedy and Chukwuku up all the way up to the top, or Taliesin Teixeira all the way to the top?
If Mick Parkin beats, what's his name? Tybura, whenever
push
that
him right up to, that's at London.
London, yeah. Also, I know this was a rumor a while ago. Remember the Volkov Pereira rumor?
Oh, yeah.
For 313? Like, I feel like that would actually be a good fight because they're both super tall and rangy.
But what's the point of that fight?
Well, I'm saying if they don't want to give Pereira an immediate title shot at heavyweight,
is stupid.
Which honestly I think they should give him an immediate shot just because it's whatever. Like, heavyweight's so trash at this point. Whatever, dude. Like, it's not like it's lightweight.
Nobody deserves to fight for the belt.
Exactly. So it's just give Pereira the belt. But if they don't, I think Volkov's a winnable matchup for him. Volkov isn't a good grappler. So it's just like a very winnable matchup where you could get a highlight KO and be like, okay, he's cemented himself as a heavyweight now. You can give him the belt.
Yeah.
I think it could be interesting.
But who knows what they're going to do with Gane and Volkov, because heavyweight, they all fought each other already.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Pavlovich stinks.
Okay, my next fighter, Cody Garbrandt. The dude Loki hasn't fought in forever.
Peyton Talbot.
Yeah, that was my matchup that I gave him, Peyton Talbot, because it's a big name matchup. You could actually throw this as the opener of a pay-per-view. Like, they both have huge name value, and I think people would complain because it's UFC fans, but it's a fun matchup.
Or even if you think that Talbot's too far away, like, what's his name? The good Bosherop brother.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know if that guy's any closer though. His brother's losing him aura.
What about like Gene Matsumoto?
Yeah.
His next fight,
that could be interesting. Because he almost beat Rob Font.
Yeah. I think he beat Rob Font. But
yeah, Rob Font was a dirty cheater.
That's a story for another day. But yeah, like I think that they even mentioned that fight during the Font Matsumoto fight. They're like, go and give him some guy like Cody Garbrandt right outside the rankings. Yeah. But I like that matchup there, just because it's like, Matsumoto, young, maybe still a little bit outside, and then like Cody gonna put on a fun fight, probably gets clipped on, KO'd.
Well, I'm just trying to think. When was the last time? It wasn't 300, right?
It was 300.
Was it really?
He fought Figgy on 300, I think.
That was his last fight. You're right.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was scheduled for a different one, and then he pulled out.
Right. Yeah.
I think he pulled out like instantly.
It was an Apex. It was an Apex card. Yeah. He was scheduled to headline or co-main 100, Apex 100, I think, with Neil Magny and Carlos Prates. But yeah, that's crazy. He's 33. He needs to get back in there before
he's a youngin.
33 in bantamweight, I wouldn't call that young.
33 in a 40-year-old's body.
Or 50.
All right, next guy. I'm not sure if this guy's still technically active. I think he might be. But give me one more Nate Diaz fight. I don't even know who this guy would face.
The old head. Cerrone. Yeah. Cowboy Cerrone. Ooh. Get them both back in there.
Diaz versus Cowboy would be a bang.
That's a GFL certified matchup.
But like the thing is, like, people would want to watch that fight.
Oh, 100%.
Like, would probably have to be on a pay-per-view. Like, you toss that on a pay-per-view somewhere.
That's a featured fight of a trash pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You toss that on like this, that would work really well as a featured fight of 313.
313?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the style of it. Like, just like...
Or 315?
No, not as much 315. That's more skilled. Like, 313 is like... You're going to kill some
carnage.
Yeah. That's carnage in the cage.
Yeah. But I do think that Dana White said he wasn't letting Cowboy back, right? He said that.
Yeah, but
Dana, you never know.
You never know about that.
Or throw Cowboy in the new boxing promotions. See how he does. That's so weird to me. Like the fact that he just dropped that on a random Wednesday again.
Yeah. Which is like...
I'm kind of scared. Like I feel like he's so not invested in MMA anymore. Now that he has a whole new boxing promotion to take care of, like, we might be cooked, guys. MMA might be cooked.
Dude, is that Jalen Turner? Go weigh in, bro.
He already did.
Okay.
He's weighed in. Yeah.
I was like, those lightweights are a little scary. When you're 6'3" and a lightweight.
Dude, that's crazy. Imagine someone 2 inches taller than you weighing 155 pounds. Criminal. People forget, man.
It's a tough world out there. It's a tough world.
Okay, my next fighter, I got Doo-Hoo Choi.
Okay.
Only real ones know about Doo-Hoo Choi at UFC 309 when he put on a masterclass against Nate Landwehr. I was riding heavy on the Nate Landwehr bandwagon because Doo-Hoo Choi hadn't fought in 4 years? Like something crazy. Yeah. He was not active at all and coming off a bunch of losses. And then he goes out there and looks like the reincarnation of the Korean Zombie. Like genuinely looked unbelievable. Had great boxing. Good takedown defense. Like I could see this guy becoming a decent contender at
featherweight.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. But I think his next matchup should be William Gomez.
Okay.
Because we just saw Gomez take that L. He's obviously still a good fighter, but I think it'd be a fun fight.
Yeah.
Gomez versus Doo-Hoo Choi. Book it, Dana.
How many more fighters do you got here?
I got one or two more.
I think I got one more.
All right, you can go.
All right, my next guy, Kyle Barajo. It's kind of at a weird place in middleweight. He can either fight down and fight early or kind of hold out and wait.
Yeah.
But I think at the point he's at right now, all the hype in the world, let's get that Imavov fight sooner than later. I think that's where we're going here, Because Strickland and Rob, I think that they're going to fight each other eventually.
Rob's been calling for that.
Yeah,
he doesn't usually call for fights.
They'll co-main event in some summer pay-per-view kind of thing.
Yeah, some garbage fight.
But in the meantime, let's get Kyle versus Imavov. I think it might be it's probably the perfect size to main event a fight night.
Or Whitaker Strickland feature fight for International Fight Week.
Ooh.
I could see that. It's a big fight.
Yeah, very much similar to like Jamal Hill, Yuri Prohaska being a featured fight.
Dude, okay. I don't know if you saw, I'm sorry, Detour, the Shale Sonnen tweet about Ilya Taporia.
No.
So, Ilya Taporia was like, you guys won't believe what's coming next.
Oh, yeah.
And Shale was like, I bet Patty knows. Can you imagine if Chandler's pulled out and they've gotten Taporia versus Patty for 3... Where's that? No. Okay, no, wait. I'm tripping because Patty's going to be at that press conference.
314.
Why would Shale say that?
What if Mike's not there, though?
Do you imagine Taporia comes out from the Undertaker music?
No, just pulls out the Volk music.
I come from London. Yeah, but I mean, obviously Shale's a donut. I think he's probably capping, but the possibility of a Patty versus Taporia matchup would be so funny.
No.
Because your boy's getting chinned.
I wouldn't watch that pay-per-view. I'm not going to say what I would do. I'm sending in death threats like there's a bomb in the air. Cancel the event.
Into a dome as a ball. All right, my last fighter. I can't believe you didn't say this, Sean O'Malley.
I thought about it. He was on like the short list. He's one of those guys, but it's like it looks like it's basically just him versus Merab.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I think they missed the perfect opportunity to do Sandhagen versus O'Malley. They had it, bro. They
I don't want to watch
it.
Sandhagen fight.
Okay, he has to fight someone. Okay, just let it be Sean.
Let him fight someone.
He is fighting Figgy.
Let him fight Rob Font. No, that fight's not booked yet.
No, it is.
No, Sandhagen even said it's not booked.
Really?
He said it's not. Nothing's official. Give me O'Malley. He still wants O'Malley.
Full violence. Stop lying to me. All right, that's all I'll say.
It's basically booked. But if for some reason the UFC was like, oh, Sean O'Malley, Sandhagen, like, I want it.
Yeah, I just think it'd be a good stylistic matchup, and Sean O'Malley doesn't really deserve another shot at the belt without doing anything.
True.
Even though it's probably the biggest matchup you could make at bantamweight right now, it's still just dumb.
Yeah, and it kind of if Sean loses that fight, it's like, oh.
Yeah, you got a long way to go back, unless Umar wins the title and then Sean wins another big matchup.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
hey, new matchup.
But even Sean, you did a good job in bantamweight. Let's go be double champ in featherweight.
That'd be nuts.
It's honestly easier.
Him versus
Lopez, him versus Volk.
That'd be a banger. I think Volk would
beat him, but him versus Lopez
could be interesting.
Lopez is champ. UFC's like, you know what, Sean? Let's do this.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things that would need to happen for that fight to ever take place. But if we just ignore all that stuff, it'd be a fun fight.
Oh yeah,
Or
even like year down the road for the belt, once Gene Silva's champion, Gene Silva versus Sean O'Malley.
You can't stop saying this because we were saying Peyton Talbot once he has the belt. We just got to stop saying these prospects are for sure.
No, but Gene Silva's different.
That's what we said against Peyton Talbot.
I never said Peyton Talbot. I mean, Peyton Talbot is different. He's autistic and gay. But.
Yeah, that's very true. I think that's a good note to end this episode.
Yeah. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Make sure you guys go down to the comments. Let us know what fighters you think need to have a fight booked. While you're down there, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. We appreciate all the love and support. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.